Welcome the audience to the Top 10 Mysteries. Today, I will take you to explore a new country, where you will know a tribe that has women who do not wear much in terms of clothes, has not bathed all its life, meets these women selling goods in the market, then the men will blush. Or go to admire the 900-year-old dry tree graveyard in the middle of the 100-million-year-old desert, unable to live, died 900 years ago just because it is too dry. This is followed by unique dances, customs, and adventures with adventure games. All of them are found in Namibia, officially the Republic of Namibia, a South African country bordered by Zambia and Angola to the north. What are you waiting for? Let's go to discover the country between two deserts by watching the video 8 Strange Things only in Namibia. Hot-eyed with the free-range tribe, without bathing all their lives. The Himba tribe of about 50,000 people living in the Kunene region in northern Namibia are semi-nomadic cattle herders. The shocking thing about this tribe is that they only wrap a small cowhide in cowhide to cover the lower part of their body and the upper body of the human body, without one piece of fabric. Even when interacting with strangers, the women here are bare-chested. Moreover, they have not bathed with water for the rest of their lives. As a semi-desert country, Namibia does not have a single river or stream flowing through the central region. In addition, it is located between the two deserts Namib and Kalahari, so there is little rain, which is erratic, causing residents to be stingy to every drop, not enough water to eat, have to renovate from wastewater, and sometimes have to move depending on the amount of rain and where the water source is. So, do they stink? Probably not. Because they do not bathe, they will apply a mixture of red clay to their bodies. The purpose is to help the girl have smooth skin, resist the scorching sun of the desert region, repel insects, as well as help the body. No smell. In addition, they also brew herbs in bowls, and then smoke them to smoke and cover the body with blankets to let sweat escape. For you, this is a way to dry bath by smoking without using water. And you must be curious about their red hair, in fact. Since puberty, Himba women have started braiding their hair and covering it with an heirloom mixture. Himba men also often braid their hair and tie it up when they get married. Besides, this tribe still exists polygamy, so a man can marry multiple wives, provided that he is rich and has many cattle. The Himba measure wealth by the number of cattle in the barn. In other words, the more cows you own, the richer you are. They also buy, sell, and trade cows for food, water, and even marry their wives. Although it is different than modern, everyone is also very friendly, unlike the Sentinelese tribe, who hunting modern people as to the end. Do you know what the definition of etiquette is in Namibia? Pampering guests to their bed is real. Etiquette is extremely permissive. In the past, the Himba Aborigines had a strange custom. It was Himba men who showed hospitality by giving their wives overnight to male guests.
What the fuck?
The wife can refuse to have sex, but still have to sleep in the same room with the guest. On the contrary, the wife can also give a female friend to her husband's house, but this rarely happens, because it is easy to plant a 2-meter-long horn. As for the wedding ceremony, before the wedding ceremony takes place, the Himba groom and some members of her husband's family will kidnap and let the bride wear a leather wedding dress. When the bride arrived at the groom's new house, his relatives showed the girl the responsibility of being a wife and expressed her approval by smearing the bride with fatty cow's milk. So if your countryside has any special wedding customs, please share it with everyone here. Besides the strange social style, Namibia also has an equally unique healing dance. Sand's healing dance. This is undoubtedly the most mysterious dance performed by the San people of South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, and Angola, and is one of the most important and sacred rituals of their tribe. For a few hours, the entire community gathered around the fire, led by healers named shamans and elders. Healers chant and breathe rapidly around the flame until they reach an ecstasy-like state. Gradually, it was as if he was entering the spirit world when he was in this state, and he could even pass through the flames. After that, the patient is brought in so that the shaman's spiritual person touches the painful places on the body, imparting the power to exorcise the evil spirits that cause diseases in the night, thereby curing diseases and bad habits such as jealousy, fighting, impatience. This process is sometimes very painful for the shamans. To save the shaman, the residents of the Sand tribe take care of them by massaging the shaman's body to sweat, or doing movements such as chasing flies to ward off the poisonous arrows that cause disease. If you are adventurous here, what are you waiting for without coming to the next series of extremely famous games? Extremely adventurous pleasures that attract tourists. First of all, hunting, a fairly developed field in Namibia, accounts for nearly 20% of the country's total tourism revenue. This is a form of hunting wild animals. Then the hunter can take some parts of the game, such as skins, horns, fangs, etc., as a memento, as a trophy they have achieved. The thing is that killing animals for entertainment is an activity that causes many conflicting opinions on morality, hurts the animal, directly creates the risk of extinction, and then loses the effort to put it in the Red Book. There have been many times when hunters have been retaliated against by the animal when they dared to lay down their hands with the animal's companions. For example, in this case, the elephants took revenge for the elephant that was shot down, causing the man carrying the gun to run fast. In addition, in Namibia, there is also sand surfing, which is the country that owns the highest sand dunes in the world, including Big Daddy with a dizzying height of up to 350 meters. When you enter the game, you just need to judge the higher the starting point of surfing, the more interesting. But before that, you have to walk to the top. Next is the skydiving game with a speed of 220 km/h. The process of free fall from an altitude of 3,000 meters, which lasts for about 30 seconds before the parachute unfolds at an altitude of 2,500 meters, will not be for the faint of heart. Add bike climbing. Because Namibia is famous for its gravel roads, don't ask if you ride up there. Your brain hasn't flown out, it's lucky. Or if you don't like to ride, you change the wind to hiking. A 5-day hike through the rugged Rocky Mountains of the Fish River. From Hobos Farm, where a giant 60-ton meteorite is stored, to Ai's Resort, the entire route is 85 kilometers, during which time you are guided along the sandy riverbed, crossing huge boulder fields. In short, great, but a little tired of the legs. If you were given one slot, would you dare to try any of the games above? Please share the name of one subject under the comment section. It's not just the sea that you can bathe. It's scary to go to the most dangerous coast in the world. The most dangerous coast in the world. Skeleton Coast translates to Skeleton Coast, with a total length of 1,500 kilometers, beautiful but the most deserted in the world. That's because there have been countless ship accidents here, estimated at more than 1,000 large and small ships and tens of thousands of deaths, with a fatality rate of nearly 100%, plus countless ships filled by sea sand day after day. Explaining this risk, one states that disasters mainly occur in an era when navigation technology is not advanced and ocean currents are fast, so ships will run aground on reefs, and when swimming ashore, the crew will face harsh environments. Along with that, hungry lions and hyenas are always lurking, so the mortality rate is extremely high. Not to mention that the average wind intensity here all year round reaches level 8, which is easy to blow ships into the coast of Skeleton, waiting for it to be just a reef rapids that easily tear ships into pieces. However, few people know that this is the place where expensive diamond mines contribute 40% of GDP. Unfortunately, the German army has exhausted them. You will also see that these abandoned houses used to be the base of the German army and a diamond market. Hundreds of people were brought to the mine with simple, strange training exercises of pointing in but not coming out, which coined the name Cannibal Mine. The Lion Bay is actually a land located in the inland desert and has nothing to do with the bay. It is said that in the early days, desert lions used to go to the coast to hunt seals, so it was named Lion Bay. Seals usually have a population of up to 10,000 birds and can even reach 1 million during the breeding season. Namibia's exotic capital. Going back to the past for a moment, as far as I know, Namibia gained independence from South Africa in 1990, and the name of this country also comes from the Namib Desert, the oldest desert in the world. It can be said that this country is extremely young, having been born just over 2 decades ago. They then took Windhoek as their capital, one of the most iconic cities on the entire Black Continent. Looking down from the plane window, Windhoek is like an oasis nestled in the middle of endless stretches of desert. It no longer looks wild, but surprisingly neat and clean. High-rise buildings, red-tiled roofs, semicircular windows from the colonial era, and parks full of flowers to green lawns. In fact, Namibia belongs to the group of African countries with a higher per capita income than other African countries. The economy is largely dependent on diamond and uranium exports, and GDP per capita falls to $5,000, while the Democratic Republic of the Congo is also African, but one of the lowest in the world, at just $308. In particular, Windhoek has never known about traffic jams and environmental pollution due to exhaust fumes. Occasionally, I saw a large displacement motorcycle from farms in the suburbs straying in. However, what embarrasses tourists is that the bare-chested Himba girls stand blatantly selling here, and if you buy the goods, you can see the whole body from top to bottom. The Valley of the Dead, where there is a skeleton that has been dead for 900 years but cannot be fossilized because it was dried, that scene looks mysterious, and how special the process is, I will go to the next content. A 900-year-old dry tree graveyard in the middle of the desert. Anyone who complains that the weather is 38 degrees hot, head to the middle in the Namibian desert, the oldest desert in the world, about 5 million years old, and visit the giant 900-year-old dry tree graveyard named Dead Vlei, which is sure to want to smoke. However, there is a 9X Vietnamese Hoang Minh Thuong, a travel blogger who spent nearly 8,000 USD on a 15-day trip to see dried trees in Namibia, which is known as the Martian asteroid in the heart of Africa. You will see lifeless, dead, and blackened branches, and it is even harder to find a leaf than to go to heaven to pick stars. Going back in time to find the cause, the sand dust of this clay basin was formed when the Sawshab River overflowed and caused flooding, creating suitable conditions for acacia trees as well as camel thorns to grow and thrive. But about 900 to 1,000 years ago, this place experienced a severe drought. The sand dunes gradually shifted to the basin and prevented the river from flowing through. The groundwater is also dry, and the rain is not enough to permeate the soil. It was so depleted that the sign of life disappeared, and the trees dried up because there was no longer enough water. Strangely, the skeletons of 900-year-old acacia trees did not become fossils, but were only dried. The area is so arid that even the wood cannot decompose. Only a handful of plants survive thanks to morning fog or rare rainfall. It is these hot, dry deserts that make Namibia, an area of 824,292 square kilometers, home to 97% of the area and an average of only 2.2 people per square kilometer, the second most sparsely populated in the world, behind only Mongolia. However, this is also known as the cold desert country. The average temperature is about 20 to 25 degrees. The weather is almost cool all year round, except for some super hot areas. Science can solve anything. Only the following spooky circle is a surrender. The spooky circle in Namibia and the extraterrestrial life hypothesis. According to records, ghost circles are circular blanks that are evenly distributed across the arid grasslands throughout the Namib region. Scientists have been trying to explain why they have existed for decades, but so far the results have returned zero. There is an opinion that the gods are dancing in circles and preventing plants from growing, or UFOs landing in the desert at night. However, the scientist immediately refuted, saying that it was related to termites. Specifically, termite colonies are invading and conquering each other, but cannot kill each other, so they create separate circles, and the space in the middle is termite land. Another plausible theory is that this is the result of competition among plants for water from the scarce rains that fall on Namib every year, combined with heavy rainfall in cyclones, extreme temperatures, and evaporation. There are also those who believe that the ghostly circles of Namib are somehow connected to the poisonous euphorbia bushes that grow in Namib, as some of the remaining traces of these plants have been found in the circles. However, it is all just an unconfirmed hypothesis, and the audience of Top 10 Mysteries thinks the cause comes from. Please comment on the answer that comes to mind. Today's video is over. Please thank the audience of Top 10 Mysteries for following our video all this time. Your support is the motivation for the team to make more quality products. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.
With